So if you step into the conversation, or if you step into when guys are getting triggered, or when you feel really emotional or hurt or dysregulated, if you're coming into the conversation looking to be validated, you're going to be set up with disappointment. What you need to do, and I mean, this is through the reparenting process, is more of validating yourself so that you can authentically allow what your partner has to give you and not feel disappointed by what they can't. A classic example of this is if you've ever heard the words, you're too needy, you're too emotional, you get upset all the time, like any of those things. If you've heard someone say those to you, one, remember that they're also projecting their inability to hold space on you. So don't think this is all on you. But remember part two, we have to realize what we're in control of, right? We're in control of how we can show up. A lot of the time, if you've heard those statements said to you, if we've heard those statements said to us, I'm too emotional or whatever else, it means you're bringing all of your emotions to the table for them to hold space for, not holding space for any of it on your own, not regulating or witnessing or holding or even listening to your own emotions, even part of it on your own. So what happens now is you're bringing all of this to the table for them to be validated. But when they don't validate it, it's going to lead to more frustration and disappointment for you. That's what's going to lead to more of the fight, flight, or fawn mechanism in there. So if you're leading or coming into a conversation when you've had a rough day, a bad day, you've had a difficult time with yourself, you've been really challenged with work, maybe any of those things, you come back to your romantic relationship, expecting for them to validate you around those things. They may be able to hold space for it if they can understand and they're capable of it. But for them to validate all of your pain is going to require not just a lot for them to do, but you're unconsciously abandoning your capability to validate yourself. And so when you come into this situation with them, it's most likely going to lead to some frustration. You're going to be like, I feel like you never really see or hear me or understand what I'm going through. You never really know like how I feel, any of those things. And it'll lead to, again, that same conversation of you're too much, you're too emotional, you're too needy. So catch yourself. If when you're having a bad day, especially on your way to work or before you have that conversation with a partner, am I saying these things just because I want them to make me feel better? That's a really big one. I used to do that a lot when I was younger. And where it comes from is still our unconscious desire from our childhood for our parents to really validate how we feel, for our parents to really hold space for like something that we really wanted them to be. Even if it was something as simple as, Mom, look at my science project that I made at school. This was so amazing. And instead, Mom is too busy to look at it. Or Mom's like, yeah, that's great. Whatever. I'm making dinner right now. Or Dad's like, yeah, I'm busy. I'm on a call. Don't talk to me right now. Then what we're still seeking from our partner is that validation. Now, this is how magically powerful the ego is, that if you try it in a positive way to get validation from your partner, which is what you try with your parent, like, hey, my science project's really good. I won this award, Mom. And even that hasn't worked. Now you'll start to push it towards the negative. You'll start to hurt yourself. That's what we call like self-abandonment as part of that process, or self-sabotage as part of that process, where you'll unconsciously hurt yourself, unconsciously victimize yourself. And so as an adult, this looks like allowing pain to basically victimize you and take over your whole life, pushing aside all your regulatory mechanisms, your ability to make yourself feel better. In fact, you might further victimize yourself and make a particular wound grow bigger and bigger and bigger, just because you're hoping when you take this to a partner that they'll be like, oh my God, look at what you're going through. Like, come here, I love you. Let me make you feel better. Now, a partner who knows how to hold space for you will do one portion of that. But our desire is for them to take the whole load and make us feel like loved little children, right? And that always leads to disappointment. That always leads to them saying like, oh my God, this is way too much for me to handle.
Hey, and welcome to the Inner Yats YouTube page. If you like our content, make sure you click the like and the subscribe button so that you get more of these amazing videos that keep coming your way.